What is up? What's up, Ray? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I appreciate, I know we were chatting in Slack and we were like, hey man, you want to do a show today? And we whipped it together really quick. These graphics were made, very quickly. So we'll get better at that and we'll get more refined as we go on. But I know we've both been knee deep in the NBA Top Shot for the last month and a half, almost 2 months now.
When was the Bales tweet?
Yeah, I feel like that's really what got us. Was that the one where they said they bought it for 35K?
Yeah.
And then I admittedly even was kind of poking fun. Like the PGA tweeted something and I quoted it and said, I own the rights to this, cease and desist. And I made jokes and, I didn't understand it, but I have a huge whiskey collection, as most people know. And so collecting things is not new to me. So it was just a cool, different experience, and it's different, right? So reactions are all over the place on this, but what was your initial thoughts on it?
So I immediately equated it to trading cards, and watching. You got people in the DFS community that are getting back into cards, and me, I'm relatively older, but I always would think, I'd like to get back into cards, but it's just not feasible for my life. I can't be waiting outside of a store for new boxes to show up. So something like this was interesting to me because it's accessible, and early on it was accessible. Now, part of the reason to be able to do this, on such short notice is this is a fairly important day as far as the Top Shot. Sorry, I'll get slaughtered on Twitter. The Top Shot community goes, because this drop is the first rare drop that 30-some thousand people are going to have access to. And
is that how many are coming in this drop? Is 30,000?
Yeah, I was looking on Twitter right before we started to get the actual number. I think it's like 30,700. Somebody will.
Yeah, I was trying to look
drop
on
that
the
into
listing.
the comments, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it right now, but I am looking. The marketplace is disabled for Rising Stars, which has been an ongoing theme for pack drops. And I think, honestly, it makes sense because of the amount of people that are on the site during the pack drop. But I think they've got to figure that out at some point to where the marketplace doesn't have to come down for pack drops, because it's not an ideal experience. And especially, I think it's been down since last night, and it came on intermittently throughout the day today. But for the most part, it's been down since last night. So especially for a $199 pack, that's not really ideal, right? Because it's some people are going to want to sell some moments to get some dapper bucks, or I think something
take 3 hours too. I mean,
you think it'll take what'll take 3 hours? What do you
drop?
Mean?
32,740.
Yeah, so a total of 32,740 are available. Yeah, and then I was gonna say it looks like some are reserved for giveaways. Thanks, Aaron, for dropping that note. But it can't go on like this. They have to have a fully functioning marketplace at all times. They can't shut it down. And some of the comments have been around, are they shutting down the marketplace to prevent the sell-offs? Because it does seem to be correlated with when prices are dropping. I think that's just coincidental. And I think, the correlation there is tons of stuff is hitting the market and tons of transactions are happening when prices are dropping. So it makes it seem like they're trying to slow the bleeding, but that's going to happen regardless. Over time, the market can't sustain the growth it's seen.
Yeah, I've always thought it was more about just keeping the site stable during the drop, but because really what happens in the marketplace I know he's pretty vocal on Twitter about how he cares about what happens on the marketplace and how it happens. But I mean, if you think about it from a business standpoint, it really shouldn't matter to them. The marketplace is what it is, and it's going to drive revenue. So
yeah, and they need it. I mean, they get 5% of the transactions.
right.
Walter wants to know what the BVP on Roham against the marketplace.
It's going to be. It would be of note. It's certainly some friends and family night for the marketplace.
Let's take a step back here because I feel like, we have such a tight knit community at Add More Fun. So a lot of these comments are going to be, some inside jokes from our Slack channels and Slack groups. And, so Add More Funds started as a DFS and sports betting tool site and originally started with MLB tools for batter versus pitch types. And that quickly became way more than that. And then about a year or two ago, we took over NBA Wowie. And now, we're seeing extreme growth within the Top Shot community. And so we built out some Top Shot tools and we're continuing to add to those. But so if you're watching this and you haven't joined the Slack is where you can get those price alerts for the Top Shot tools. And we'll show some of that later and go through some of the tools and how you can use them. But with price alerts specifically, we have a bot in chat that will send you a message when certain prices happen. Now, you'll still have to manually purchase and do those types of things. But and recently, Top Shot has denounced bots, and so that is no longer allowed for the time being. I think there is potential later on to open that back up based on the blog and how I read that. It looks like, once the market's more mature, they'll look into allowing that functionality. But right now, they're trying to prevent that. So our price alerts you can get a desktop notification or a message in Slack. But there's also tons of great conversation that happen in Slack on a daily basis. Tons of awesome members in there. I think our Slack's up to several thousand people participating in there. You can lurk, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to, you can just read the chats. There's a lot of lurkers in the Slack, that's for sure.
Lurking is definitely a favorite pastime.
Yeah.
For many.
And if you do decide to join, just make sure you have an avatar before you chat, because it is our culture to shame you into uploading an avatar before you get too active in the conversation. And just so you know, that will happen. So that's just a heads up. Like, that is going to happen if you join
our
without avatar.
Director of culture will definitely say something.
Oh, all right. So let's see. We got right now, it's saying the pack drop is estimated for 5 p.m. Eastern. What do you think the chances of that happening?
So I wouldn't bet any amount of real American dollars on this drop happening on time, but I will say some of the nuts and bolts have been frustrating, but overall there has been improvement. So I wouldn't be surprised if they've gotten some things figured out and this thing goes off the way that they plan, especially with all the time that the marketplace has been down, the website's been down. You just got to have a little faith that they're working on something to make it go off on time.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point at 4:10, maybe they don't know yet if it'll be ready, but I feel like by 4:30 we're going to have an idea, and hopefully things go smoothly, and hopefully at least one of us, if not both of us, are able to get one of these Rising Star rare packs, because we will rip those open live on the stream to end the show. Let me ask you, so when you buy packs, like, because I bought, like, in the beginning when they were just sitting there, the base set to, like, mid to late January when they were sitting on the website, I only bought like 25 or so, but I'm not one that just sits there and leaves them unopened. But I see these people on video stream after video stream, and they're going into their pack collection, and it's like they don't even touch them. They just like NBL, one of the largest moment holders on NBA Top Shot, has like I think he has a Cosmic pack he hasn't even opened yet. Like, what's your view on that?
That's a level of discipline that I will never approach to ever be capable of that. I don't think. I think it's a long play on the ability to trade packs, unopened packs, probably at some point. Might be Mordecai's talking about the Discord. 20 minutes ago said it's gonna happen
for Top Shot. So that's good news.
I think there's obviously some value to that. Those packs are worth more than the sum of their parts. It's just I'm here to see if I can get a number one Steph or get that LeBron dunk or something. So, like I said, I treat it like trading cards. I want to open it up. I want to see what I got.
Yeah, I see people like even in trading cards, they keep their boxes sealed and they don't open them. It's like, well, what's the point? Like half the rush is like you said, figuring out what's inside of it. And I could see like, now that we have the show, if we're going to do regular shows, like on a regular basis, I could see like, okay, I'm not going to rip this open right away because I know I'm going to go on a show. But these like super early adopters that have, dozens of packs just sitting there of rare stuff. It's like, what has been the motivation to not open those? Because like, I think I saw like there's a ton of number one serials of some of the rare stuff that hasn't been opened. And to me, that would increase my interest to see if I was holding one of those number one serials.
Right. Yeah. And every time one doesn't get pulled a number one, it's more and more likely that you've got it in there and you're just sitting on it. I don't get it. But I have used this this pre-order pack that's been sitting in my account for a week now, just kind of as a question to that end. Right. I'm sitting on this pack that I can open because I don't really have it, but it's there. So it's possible to sit there and look at it and I wonder,
well, we can't open those yet, right? Like those aren't available for us to open. I did get an email that said it would be available by March 14th at the latest.
Next Sunday.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I mean, if we get it Sunday and we want to do this again next Sunday, like we could open them up on the show again next week. So I think, got a bunch of chat going. I love it. Gypsy, can I have more than one window open on Top Shot? So I think you're asking like, does it help to like try to go into the queue multiple times? And the answer is no. The way it logs you into the queue is unique. And so like, you can't enter the queue on multiple tabs with one account, and you're not supposed to have multiple accounts. So if they find out you have multiple accounts, you risk, pack confiscation. I think we saw a guy on Twitter tweet about how he got 4 different packs or something. And then like an hour later, he's like, why is my account been banned or whatever? So no, like when you enter, I want to say about 10, 15 minutes prior to the drop, you're able to say like to join the drop. And then what'll happen is, when they register it to like go live, you'll get assigned a number, and then based on that number, you kind of know whether you have a chance. Like with was it roughly 36,000? I think I can't remember the number off the top of my head. So like if you got like 40,000, it sucks because you don't want to leave because there's a chance, especially with a $199 price point. Like you might see a lot more drop-offs than before. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff going on in chat. I
don't have a dog. I got a grandma that I can maybe have an account made.
Do not do that. I have been tempted to try to get my wife to do it. I have been tempted to try to get my wife to register an account, but I think they even said like use you'll want to use separate payment details, all that kind of stuff. But I saw the infamous Millie Maker Tanner Tolbert make a joke regarding the multi-accounting with his wife getting a pack. Yeah, so Jeff said ask Jade to hook you up. So you know what's interesting, Aaron brings up a good point. Like, you have to have a moment to get this pack, but the marketplace has been down since last night. And so it would have been really easy for, like, there were like super cheap moments hitting the marketplace. But then the marketplace went down. So you weren't even able to get a moment potentially to purchase this pack. So I don't know what the numbers were, but I know in the past, the amount of people that had made a purchase were still relatively low. I'm sure that's changed over time. But I guess what is in this pack? That's something we should probably look at. Why don't we pull up I'm going to pull open that list and we can go through that.
You got the Google Doc up?
Yeah, I got it right here. Just need to so let's look at this.
Walter. So Walter robbed me in chat yesterday, and he's trying to allude to that in the comments here, but that's okay. Everything comes around full circle.
Were you selling offline?
So I wasn't even looking to sell, but I kind of, and that's the way the chat goes. You kind of get a feel for what everybody's doing. It's a pretty open place. So, I could tell he's trying to complete a challenge. I got this card that I think it's going to fluctuate over. I call it a card, this moment, that I think
keep calling them cards too, man. Like, I catch myself.
I think to me they are. They're digital cards, but maybe I get killed for that. I don't know. So he's looking to buy offline. He can't buy on the marketplace. I don't care to hold it. So look at low ask and not thinking that, the market's been down for 6 hours. Low ask doesn't really mean anything right now, but no big deal. Market comes back and it goes up $100 or something like that, something stupid. So I give him the pleasure of knowing he ripped me off. So it makes him feel good about himself.
Well, challenges are another topic, and we can get into those too, because I do think challenges create an interesting relationship with the marketplace. We've seen it with the GIF. We've seen it with the Cool Cats. They drive up the value before the challenge. So really your maximum opportunity there to sell at peak is before the challenge is over. If you're not chasing the challenge yourself. Or I haven't run the numbers yet. Is it cheaper to just wait until the challenge is over and buy everything versus trying to buy all of it now? So I think there's a couple different ways to approach it, and we'll have to look at some of the numbers to see like how stuff ends up. But it's all still relatively new. But for the Rising Stars pack, so this is the Rising Stars here, serial numbers 1 to 2021. Very clever on the 2021 serial limit there for the 2021 All-Star. And then just the Seeing Stars. Anything noteworthy in here that you've seen? I see like there's a number 1 Jokic.
So
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I think obviously at the top you want that LaMelo. If you can get your hands on that.
Sure.
The Harrow's probably.
Is it Harrow or Hero?
So I think it's Harrow, but I could be wrong.
I'm terrible with last names. I'll say
my
KC Kim Boomer.
Oh yeah, it's.
Oh man. Yeah,
I was once called a origami-handed soy boy in chat. So.
Ben makes a good point too. Like, even when the marketplace is up, like there were the issues with trying to make the transactions. It was kind of a nightmare. But hopefully that gets resolved and we see that, and we could talk. Yeah. So like the LaMelo here, that's really what you hope you get out of this pack, right? Like if you open a LaMelo, regardless of cereal, you're feeling pretty good. Are you chasing any challenges with these rising stars? Like, is it a situation where you want to do that, or are you just going to use it to offload to buy something else you've been looking for?
So I haven't actually seen anything about what the Rising Star Challenge is or might be. I don't know if that's out there. The Seeing Stars, there's a KD challenge right now that people are talking about, and I think it's affordable. Kind of want to see what I get out of this pack to see. Like Walter pointed out, I already sold my initial Seeing Stars moment, so currently I'm not in that game. But
the Rising Stars Challenge, there is a Rising Stars Challenge.
Is it up?
With the exclamation point Anthony Edwards. So it looks like your reward is the Anthony Edwards. Okay. And so I think that's going to be a tough challenge to complete just because you need 9 of them. There's 9 stars that you need to get out of this pack, and there's only 2021 of each one. So it's going to be very difficult to pull that, I feel.
And sorry, I'm on the site now. Have they said which 9 it's going to be?
Yes. Here, I can, why don't I
share that part of the site?
Let me share this. Let me share this version and we can look at that. All right. So
it'll probably be all the US guys.
So Rising Stars Challenge 1 with the rare pack, you need the DeAndre Hunter, LaMelo. It almost seems like you need, how many of them are there? There's 18, but you only need 9.
You need half of them.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a mix of US and world. Okay, yeah. I was wondering if is it based on what team they're on? So like, no?
Must be.
Maybe. But yeah, so if you think about this can be really tough to complete. Do you know if in challenges, if you had 2 of each moment, would you get 2 rewards?
No, you'll only get 1 of the rewards.
Okay, so then there's a maximum possibility of 2021, and we all know with challenges it's going to be much less, right? So I would say like the reward on this is probably going to be less than 500. Like, it's hard to see more than 500 people collecting all 9 of these.
Yeah, and there's some pretty sharp people out there in the challenges, so they'll find the cheapest one of these and just buy up a bunch of them and limit the mint of the reward, which is crazy smart.
And I think one way to do it, like for example, let's say you get a number 1 cereal on any of these guys, a way to complete the challenge would be to sell that number 1 cereal at a premium price and then use those profits to buy the other moments so you can get that reward. Like that would be one way to complete it. I think that's the logical way to complete it. Like, let's say like if I got like if you got a LaMelo Ball number 1 overall cereal, you're probably completing a bunch of other challenges besides just this one.
Finally get that Luka.
Yeah, somebody asked earlier if I got my Luka yet, and I got my price alert set to see if it drops below 4, because I don't know if I have to sell some stuff to get there, and if it dropped below 4, that would provide me with the opportunity. I still haven't bought the cat yet. I'm trying to capture it right around $100. I think it drops there just based on volume and seeing where the other cool cats are. But so I'm gonna swap back to the list here.
Well, you also mentioned you got your price alert set up, and that the Cool Cats challenge is a good one to use the tool and the price alerts. So when you're ready to go through that, pull the tool open and kind of look at those.
Yeah, and prices. So like we're looking at doing a variety of things with those price alerts too. So I think it'll be really cool to see how that tool, like everything I've seen some other websites talk about price alerts and stuff, but like everything I found, you have to pay like $25 just for that one feature. And like yes, I'm being a company man right now, but our tools for $10 a month or $100 a year not only give you price alerts, but they also give you access to the lowest ask history. And the reason we have that is because we store it. Like we look at the lowest ask and we hold that open. Somebody said the queue is open to join.
Let's confirm this. It's awful early.
Yeah.
But
it does seem early, but yes, I can join the drop. So thank you for that heads up, my B. The queue is definitely open. So go ahead and join that queue now, and you can just leave that up and running, or the event's not going to begin. You're not going to get your place in line for another 30 minutes. So I will say this looks to all things a go for 5 o'clock, which is a good sign. I went 0 for 3 on the last 3 drops, so I didn't get a single pack. So I'm hoping I get some good karma and get a pack here, because that would be, I'd much rather this pack than the previous 3. So like I'm holding out for good vibes and hoping that we can see that. But so on the Seeing Stars, is there anything in here that's interesting?
Obviously the Steph. There's no number 1, but
I mean, even if you got a number 3, and that's a whole nother conversation. Should serial numbers matter? And it's like, regardless of whether you think they should or not, they clearly do, based on what we've seen happen in the marketplace.
So I can't pretend to be an NFT guru, but the fact that they're serialized is the thing that makes them special, right? And they're serialized and they're unique. And it's a strange market anyway, because we're talking about low ask all the time, when that shouldn't really be the way that we look at this. But
what do you think should be the way that we look at it?
Well, as I say that, I realize that it's implying that the serial number does matter just to say that. But I think if these things are unique, and number 1 is different than number 2, and number 1 is obviously the top of the food chain when it comes to serial numbers, it's got to matter.
Yeah. And I think like number 1 overall serial matters, but like, is there a difference between number 1,000 and number 8,000? Like at that point, where is the cutoff to where it should matter? Is it single digits, double digits, triple digits? I mean, the human brain is a powerful thing, and we'll pull up the tools in a minute and talk about some of that stuff. But human bias is very powerful, and we can use that just like in DFS and sports. It doesn't matter whether we think it has an impact. All that matters is that we know other people think it has an impact. And if other people think it has an impact, we can plan and predict around that. Aaron brings up the 69s and 420s. And it's like, I think it was Hooper Brick was on Overzet's show, good friend of AMF, and was talking about how there was correlation to show that those numbers increase, because again, it's people buying these things. And so if somebody says in their head the number 69 serial matters to them, then no one's going to underprice that anymore, knowing that someone sold something for $690 just because it was a number 69 serial. Yep. I think the ultimate number 69 serial would be a Joel Embiid number 69, but we'll see where that lands. But it is interesting to look at. I'm going to pull open.
I think there's some slant when you get down to like 3-digit serials. And things we've seen with the tool is top 10% of serials. there is some activity there. People tend to value those cereals at a premium compared to the rest of the cereals. So just kind of what the market is right now. Where I struggle is long term. Is that going to be a thing long term, or are these, Walter brings up, buy whatever cereal you want. Depending on what you're doing with the moments, he's right. If you're just holding moments to complete a challenge, why does it matter what cereal you get? I don't want a PJ Washington Cool Cats, but I needed it to get a Anthony Davis.
Yeah, so like for challenges, I don't really care. So that's where like I had the Donovan Mitchell GIF, which was like I had like the number 122, and I tried to sell it for 1,000 because it was high up there, and that was like the lowest in that range. No one ended up buying it. But if I would have got that, I would have used that money to go after like other challenges or something. So I'm totally in the game for challenges. Like I don't care about serial numbers for challenges.
Yep.
If I'm going to buy something to hold it, maybe I'll pay a little bit premium, but I really look to those pack drops to kind of get lucky.
The other reason why Walter's right is, we're talking about a low ask market. Everybody talks about these things in terms of their low ask price out there on the market. So, as long as you're lowest, it doesn't really matter what the serial number is. So
yeah, I think now I've listed stuff with like that top serial number at premium dollars. Like I've listed like top 10%, and I've went down and I've looked at like what's the lowest ask in that range, and I've priced it. Like I had one where it was like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like $60 low ask for any serial number. But my serial number in the top, 2000, the lowest I could find was like 300 something. So I priced one at $299 because the number didn't matter to me. And it sold like well before like anything rose there. But I'm about to share my screen for the Top Shot tools. And I do think that in some of these tools, we can see that trend of like the top 10% of those cereals go and like are at inflated prices. And then once those top 10% of cereals are no longer available within reason, right? Like not the like super, super high ones, but like the ones that are like, okay, low ask is 100, top 10% is 200. We see those $200 top 10% go. And then as quantity becomes more and more scarce there, like you see the rest of the cereals slowly catch up to those numbers. And we've seen that trend time and time again. And we'll look at some of that. I don't know if there's any moments people want to pull up, but Zach Myers says, I've noticed players' birthday cereals are going for more.
Yeah. That's the other thing. These moments contain a lot of information about the player, about the moment, about the game. So, the birthday is included on there, the day they were drafted. There's a lot of stuff in there that you could attach to the player or the moment.
Yeah, and I've seen like 888, mention that. Thinking back now, like my birthday is August 25th, 8/25. It'd be pretty cool to collect like my favorite players, number 8/25, but I'm not going to pay a premium for it just because like I hold that near and dear to me. Like people do that in whiskey all the time. So like in whiskey, Blanton's has dump dates on the front. And, oh, my daughter was born on this date, and they'll overpay for it because it's sentimental to them. So I do think there's a psychological component there. Unfortunately, we just don't know who the buyers would be for that. But like, don't start sending me offers for 8/25 cereals. I'm not going to buy them at a premium. We can't even say Hero's name correctly. You think we know their birthday? Is it Hero or Hero?
Hero. Well, chat says it's Hero, so okay. It's going to be Hero.
All right. Well, let's see here. So like, let's start with the price alerts. I have two, and they're the two cool cats I don't have for the master challenge. So I've been lowering this. I think my current alert for cat is now 150. So I'm leaving that there because I think under 150 is fine. I'm waiting for it to get closer to 100. We saw like 110 pop up there a couple times for the low ask on this. And so this is these are some of the features that you can see. So like free users get access to the 1-day charts. Premium users have access to like the 5-day, the 1 month, and like it's just yeah.
So the good thing about leaving that alert set at 150, and the reason he's doing that is now every time that price changes and it's still below 150, he'll get an alert.
Yeah.
So you can track it with your notifications, kind of trend it a little bit.
So here we can see where the marketplace just was off because nothing changed over the night, and then it came back on intermittently. It actually got down to 110 on one of these, and so just like with other charting tools, you can like highlight areas and look at stuff, but it's not picking up the 110, and that might have been a ghost one, so who knows there. But and while I will say, we have this 1-day, 5-day, 1 month, 6 with lowest ask, because we are tracking the lowest ask. It's not a historical thing that's available. We are not able to go back in time. So we can't see the lowest ask before we started tracking it. So you'll notice if you do the 1 month, I think we're now above 1 month. Well, this cool cat hasn't been around for 1 month anyways, but on moments that have been around for 1 month, what you'll notice is like it started on around February 4th, I think is when we started tracking moments. And so it goes back to that point in time. We don't have information before we started tracking it, but hopefully, and then some of the feedback we've gotten on the lowest ask, Wade's did a video and he was showcasing our tools, and we're really listening to you guys on what you want to see on these tools was the volume. So knowing what amount of volume was at that lowest ask. Was it just 1? Was it 2? Were there 100? Because it kind of tells you what the sell walls are, and knowing whether, and then also like what's the next lowest ask, and like, so is it going from like 199 to 249, or is it 199 and there's 10 of them, and then 200 there's 20, and then like knowing those increases is really helpful to know the health and the history. I'm not a stock trader. These tools are not, we're not financial. This is not financial advice. These tools are here just for fun, entertainment, and education purposes. But those types of things can help you make more informed decisions, knowing those volumes behind it. Because if it's like, oh, well, there's only 1 at this price, or there's 10 at that price, that's a big difference. And so those are some of the things that we definitely want to look at. Walter mentions Last Cereal is cool to collect. That's a Jaw thing too. Wasn't Jaw talking about Last Cereal?
Yep. So Jaw's one of the first people I heard bringing it up. The perfect score, Jaw likes to call it. But
why does he call it the perfect score?
Because it'll be 10,000 out of 10,000. If you do the division, it's 1.
Yeah, and then apparently there's an account ARM, and he's collecting and paying insane amounts for the Last Cereal. So that's interesting.
Apparently, Mark LaFrance thinks I'm the GOAT. So
that's Mab.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How do I? Mab's probably my favorite person. How do I not know his name's Mark LaFrance?
I don't know. Zach had a question about plans to make alerts come to the phone. So price alerts are one of the newer features we just launched. Our goal was to get something out that was useful quicker. So right now, the only way to get the alerts to come to your phone is to join our Slack, to have the Slack app and have Slack alerts active and set to push to your phone. That's the easiest way to get push notifications right now. Understand it's not ideal. We're looking into text alerts. We've also talked about turning around a mobile app that takes our entire site to be able to do push notifications, but all that stuff takes time and takes us away from other tools that we're also working on. So we're trying to balance what we focus on and what we bring out, based on those level of efforts. So just to answer that question, Zach, so like that's the workaround right now, is to just use Slack. Aaron says we're still in beta, huh? So this is what I've been watching, is this Luca Cool Cats. Like, it got up there, and these charts, also something we're looking into because of all your support, is looking at a premium charting library to have better charts that are more in line with charts that you see on other sites and are faster. It'll make loading these charts almost instantaneous for lowest ask and sales transaction. You'll notice there's a little bit of a lag, on some of the swapping the ranges, and it's just because it's loading data and we're using a free charting library. And so we hope to have those enhancements over the next week or two as well, which will really streamline looking at this. But we saw the Luca cap out like right around 10. And now it's slowly been going down, but it's got a hard resistance at 4,500. I think my current alert for the Luca, I think, is 4,500. Yeah. And so when you have an alert, it goes to the current alerts. I guess let me show you what it looks like when I can show you guys, like, and you can filter all this stuff, but like when you don't have an alert on something and you do this is the view you get. So you can set your price below or above, and you can say where you want it, Slack or desktop. If you don't have your Slack email filled out in your profile, there will be a message here that says enter your Slack email. So that way we can link up with your account. Something with the lowest asset we're looking into as well as the serial, like being able, sorry, not lowest asset, the price alerts, is being able to also set a range. Like, you want to know when a serial under this number is available for this price. So that way, like, you can, if you're only looking for top cereals, you can get price alerts on top cereals, not just the lowest ask overall. Chris is asking, any sense of when volume as an overlay in the charts might be an option? Not at this time. It is something we're looking at because we've heard the feedback from a variety of folks, and I think those are some of the more serious traders, like in other markets, understand how volume has a play on it, and we know that's important. Right now, our current feature we're working on is tagging and a watch list. So what you'll be able to see is check boxes over here, and you'll be able to add moments to a tag or a watch list and then filter the grid by that. And then there's some other things, such as keeping this table header sticky, so as you scroll, the columns stay there. Adding a header row so it sums up the information and you don't have to like do math, and you can see like what the total market cap, listing, all that kind of stuff. So we got a bunch of stuff, and if you click in the I'm going to have features you guys don't have, such as admin and data review and stuff. But in your drop down, there's a link here for feedback. That'll take you to the board where you can suggest new features and vote on current features that have been suggested. That feeds right into our admin Slack channel that goes right to our developer, and we immediately get a push notification. That's why, like, if you've ever put something in, there's a good chance I've responded within like a few minutes, because I am hawking those new user suggestions, and I'm looking them over and trying to respond to them as quickly as possible. Now, if you do it at like 3 a.m, it's going to be the next morning, but appreciate it, Chris. Thanks. And I know we have the message down there in the bottom right. If you're enjoying this, to like and subscribe, but do us a favor and like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to try and do more of these types of videos as we go. What do you want to look at here, KC?
So another functionality here, the export functionality, is limited to supporters, but whenever I'm trying to figure out, what is it going to cost to complete a challenge or something, I'll filter out cool cats, and then I'll export that, and I'll remove what I've got, and then I can sum up the columns and figure out what it's going to cost me, down to the dollar, right? So that's some functionality there that's been important for me.
And we're trying to make that even easier. Like some of the things I mentioned, we eventually plan to allow you to add your Dapper account in your profile. And what that'll do is we'll be able to look up which moments you have, and you can have like a check next to you'll have a check next to the moment if you own it, and be able to filter down and do all that. And then so you don't even, the tag/watch list will allow you to do that manually for now, but we look to automate a lot of that. But being able to do that and filter down to, like you're saying, and then have that header row that sums it up, like you could it would sum up all the lowest ask for what you have filtered. You don't even have to export it. You could immediately know, hey, the cost to complete this challenge for the remaining things I have is going to be this. What do I need to do? But
yep.
How many likes for you to give away your pack? If somehow we got 1,000, if we got 1,000 concurrent viewers and 1,000 likes and hit 1,000 subs, I would give away my pack.
Yeah. My kids don't eat likes, so.
Do they eat Dapper Bucks?
Wow. Only Roham eats Dapper Bucks, Bub.
So, hey, you guys, Jack posted 245 accounts with moments. So there's 245,000 accounts with moments, but how many of them are willing to spend $199 on a pack? My guess is that immediately gets cut in half. Maybe I'm underestimating it. Leone tweeted out. Actually, if Leone tweets out, Matt agreed to give up his rare pack if we get to 1,000, that might actually put us there. But I'd be okay if you did not tweet that, and we were not ready for that kind of growth yet, Mike. So please do not feel like you need to tweet that out, despite what Walter has suggested. Let's see, how much time do we have left? 12 minutes until we get our numbers.
So what do you think the market looks like coming out of this pack drop?
Man, I really, because we haven't seen any of those 2021 serials yet, right? Like those are new for this drop. There's 18 of them. You need 9 of them to complete a challenge. So I think obviously the 9 that are required for the challenge, I think he did tweet it out.
Let's get it.
Oh, man.
Is Chris up?
Oh, fuck. Mike, I hope you don't have that kind of influence.
Got to get the website developer out of bed.
No, our site can handle the load balance, but we'll see what happens here. We'll see what kind of influence Mike really has, but I don't even know if I'm going to get a pack yet. That's the other thing. Like we won't know. And that's going to be part of the sweat, is like to stick around to see. But I'm regretting saying I would agree to that. Already regretting it.
That's all right.
Progress
is messy, Matt. Progress is messy.
I wish I had the tattoo. Can you guys apply to work at Top Shot? So like, let's talk about that for a minute. So like our site is much simpler to manage. Like we're over-engineered. I will say like our software, our platform is over-engineered to handle Spike, because Wowie is such a popular tool, and the Wowie tool is very time use heavy. And so like that hour before lock, the 45 minutes before NBA lock, that's where like we get the most traffic. So we have to have things in place that allow us to scale up based on traffic. I think the issue with Top Shot is not, load balancing servers. Like we're talking about a completely different beast here. And this is where I'm ignorant in terms, I'm even ignorant in terms of like regular web hosting, but I know there's an extra layer of complexity with Top Shot, being that transactions are running on flow, and like transactions can kind of slow down, that processing. And that's why sometimes transactions take a minute, or like, somebody could beat you to a purchase that you thought you had. So I think it's interesting what they're doing. I know they created, like my understanding is they created Flow to solve for the issues that they had with CryptoKitties on the Ethereum network. And again, I'm newer to NFTs. I'm newer to, crypto type stuff. So I don't claim to be an expert by any means, but my understanding was they created this new process to kind of eliminate that. And my question would be, if this was on the same Ethereum network, would it have crashed just like it has been? And would they have less control and ability to fix it? I think the upside here is they have the ability to at least manage and maintain this and continue to improve on it. Whereas if it was on, and I think I've seen some things like the next Ethereum network, I think I've seen like Ethereum 2.0 would solve a lot of the issues. So like, I don't think those bottlenecks in these systems are forever. I think there is progress coming. Don't claim to be an expert. That's not how the internet works. I am very happy to admit when I don't know something. I don't like talking about things I don't know. And yeah, so Leone brings up, he mentions, the pros and cons of centralization. Like I am not one of those diehard cryptos that like everything has to be decentralized. I think I think blockchain has amazing potential, and I can see amazing things happening with it. But I do think some of that is going to come at centralized efforts for mass adoption. And I think that's how we get there ultimately. Rome wasn't built in a day. It's going to take time to change how people view things and how people do things. I will say the day my dad says, "Hey, I have this Top Shot moment. Can you help me with it?" That's when I know, like, okay, we're past the early majority stage. Like we're full on in the laggard stage when my dad is getting a Top Shot account. Like my mom asked me about Bitcoin the other week, and I'm like, oh, here it is.
Your dad will have a CryptoPunk.
That would be hilarious. I don't think my dad could afford a CryptoPunk. Maybe I don't even think my dad would afford 1/5 of a CryptoPunk like Pete bought. But hey, Sal, happy to have you here as well.
So the market. So we've had in recent history we've had a 9.99 legendary drop, and that kind of sent the market into outer space for a little bit. And then
you got one of those.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I forgot to join. I don't know if I had the Dapper funds to do it. I would have probably had to deposit more, add more funds to be able to purchase that. But what did you pull again? I remember watching that with you.
Drew MGLE.
That's right. And you put that one on the marketplace to get some other stuff, right?
Oh yeah, that was the birth of Origami Hands, Soy Boy, Casey Mo. And I was sweating it too, because I just wanted that $9.99 back out of it. You know what I mean? I didn't really want to put it in, but you could look at it. Well, it's still
technically in, right? Because are you able to withdraw yet?
I am a prisoner of Rohams. I am one of the many.
Yeah, I can't withdraw yet either. I did my identity check, which it did not like the picture of my license for the first few times. It was
glare.
It was annoyingly difficult, but I had to do it from my mobile device. There is Winky.
We got history.
That was I remember. Was that the night where you edged him out
Yeah,
on a Bink in MLB or something.
he's a pure gentleman.
So you sold that Drew. What did you do with the funds? What
So
did
I
you go
turned
after?
that into a bunch of Series 1 stuff. So I've got 20 Series 1 moments right now, and then I got a bunch of Cool Cat bags.
Yeah, I'm holding the Cool Cat and the gift bags, man.
So
I'm hoping they do something with the gift in the future.
I'm hoping that this, it's only a 199 drop, but I'm hoping that this turns the market back in that direction that we saw after the legendary drop. I don't know. This market's been an interesting one to try to peg down to figure out what it is, but I think with the season coming to an end, we're halfway through, a little over halfway through. We got a lot of opportunity, but we're going to start running out of time here shortly.
I do think like when it comes to like playoffs and stuff, like you want to talk about buzzer beaters, like imagine that Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater, like having
around the rim a little bit,
having that moment, and like, you know, just having that moment be like a rare legendary moment. Like I think there's some cool, and that's where I'm trying to take it from the approach, like from a collector's standpoint. Like I'm not just, in the beginning it was fun, the adrenaline of buying and flipping to get the cash, but like now it's like I always keep 500 to 1,000 Dapper bucks like on hand in case something happens. Like I think right now I have like right under 500. And so I was waiting for, like, I didn't want to go purchasing stuff. I didn't want to go doing anything with this pack drop because I don't want to be stuck either, because the marketplace usually comes down. You want to keep Dapper bucks. I don't even think they're called Dapper bucks, but that's what I call them. Keep them on hand for purchases. It'll be interesting to see the variation with the 9 for the challenge for the Rising Stars. I think you're going to see extremely high values on those and lower values on the others. But I think there could be a potential play of collecting the entire, like using that to your advantage and collecting all of them, because that's what I'm hoping is these challenges are dictating the market a little too much. And I think we need to figure out what that balance is going to be. We need to figure out what that balance is with challenges. Like, I don't think the gamification shouldn't be able to manipulate the market. They need to figure that out. Like, I get the gamification and rewarding and doing cool stuff. And because you do get a moment back, I think there's something there, but it shouldn't be able to manipulate the market in the way that it does and drive prices so high or so low. Like, I think they need to figure out what that balance is. And some of that balance could be, the team coming back and like all those moments that dropped in value now all of a sudden are included for a new challenge, or, and so it's like you start removing the desire to sell a moment after a challenge is over, because you never know what the next challenge is going to be, and it rewards that long-term collection behavior.
Yeah, I think that's one thing, and this challenge is going to be special in that there's only, the base is 2021, right? So there's going to be some number less than 2021 of the gift moment come out, where the Cool Cats, the first drop was 5,000, then 10,000. The next one's going to be 15,000.
Yeah, but there's only 3,600 Lucas, so right. That means like for the Masters Challenge, and I think only 3,100 are unique owners.
Right.
So you're already maxed out at, like, there will not be more than 3,100 LaMelo Cool Cats regardless. So you have to do. Oh, we're under a minute here on the queue, and as soon as I have my number, I will move over to that if it looks like I'm going to get a pack. Keeping my fingers crossed. My B says there's only 84K people watching. Oh, well, that's why we can't get any viewership. There's 84,000 people watching someone else's stream. No, but we knew that was a risk. We knew they were going to do the show, but we wanted to talk a little bit about our tools and do some stuff. So Let's see. Fingers crossed that we get in there. Should I? I'm gonna share it in real time, and you're gonna get some of their. I'm not going to share the audio, but you'll be able to see their stream playing right at 1 second. I got it up on the screen right at 1 second. We are literally living for the moment right now. Literally living for the moment. Big money, no whammies.
So we're looking for, I don't know, top
32,000 packs
40,000
available.
maybe.
I would say if you're under 40, you might have a good chance. I don't know what the dropout rate's going to be, man.
Somebody put in the comments that it was about 5% for the.
Yeah, but this is
Seeing Stars.
What was it for the? Yeah, that's more expensive. So, damn it!
What'd you get?
72,000.
Oh, it's gonna be tough. Oh, I got 55.
Ah, this is brutal.
That sucks.
Like, I don't know whether to stick in there though, because like, man,
55
this is like,
probably.
I can't catch it. I'll tell you what, I cannot catch a break with the pack drop.
Look at Sal, congrats.
Oh, very nice, Sal. Very nice. Anyone else?
Walter.
Else guaranteed getting a pack?
Walter, I'll have a pack here in a minute.
Walter, Sal, do either of you want to come on and open your pack on the stream? Let me know. If either one of you would be interested in opening your pack live, you don't have to give anything away. Let's just open it live together. Let us know, and we can. Sal, if you wanna come on and open live on our channel, we'd love to have you. I understand if you want to do it on your own channel, but just let us know. We can keep this going for a little bit. I told my wife this would be an hour-long show, but if we're gonna open some packs live on the show must go on. So Walter will have his sooner, but I don't know what Walter plans on doing for the pack. There we go. So we got some people in here. We got some lucky folks in the chat that are gonna get a pack. I'm not jealous at all. But I don't even. I'm gonna stop sharing this because it's just I don't want to depress anyone. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna keep it open, but I'm gonna stop sharing it. I can't, but I would. I can't, but I would. What does that even mean?
Have to take him at his word. He would, but he can't.
Yeah, you would if you could, but you can't. So, you know. No, it's okay. You would if you could.
He's got better things to do. He's got a pack.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, that's the ultimate letdown.
It really is. I was maybe Roham will see this and send
one of those 3,600.
Yeah, a pity pack. I'll take a pity pack. I am not above accepting a pity pack.
It'll just show up one day. You won't even have to ask for it.
Whoa, some hostility there in the chat.
Franco came off the top rope.
Let's do it, Sal. If you want to do this, I can send you a link. Let me know, and we can get you on here, and you can talk through your process. I think you're relatively new in the Top Shot stuff, but it seems like you're getting packs on a regular basis, so that's good for you. I'm almost forgetting what it's like to be able to purchase a pack. Like I kind of forget. Like I think I remember like you click a couple buttons and then it shows up in your account, but I'm starting to forget.
We'll open the pre-order packs next Sunday, and it'll be like riding a bike.
Yeah, except it'll be like a pre-order pack that everyone got, and I won't feel special like my mom always tells me.
It would have been nice to have a shot at that LaMelo and the Rising Star, but can't win them all.
No, I'm gonna keep this open for a little bit just in case we do want to open that. I don't know how long would it take to go through 32,000 people.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hour and a half, probably.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream past that time, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're looking at a good solid hour and a half.
Yeah, if only Walter wasn't so selfish. I'm gonna shoot Sal a link, and I may have to hop off camera and ask permission from my wife to let the show run a little longer and explain why. Maybe I should like have her stand off camera and explain why I need to go into dinner time.
Is she gonna care in any way?
I think she's gonna care because it will delay when we eat.
She care why you want to do it, I guess.
Absolutely not. But I think it would be entertaining to hear the pitch of why I must stay on stream. Oh, wait, you didn't get a pack? No. Somebody else I know has got a pack. Oh, are they going to give you the pack? No. They're going to keep the pack. So why the fuck can't we eat? That's kind of how that conversation would go. So we'll see. Sal, let me know how it's moving for you, and if it does move in an expeditious manner, we can certainly talk about it. Otherwise, I think you got your own channel there with plenty of subscribers who would be very, very, very interested in watching that on your channel. But I appreciate your willingness to open up on ours. But we'll see how the time goes. Yeah, tell her you'll be a good luck charm. Yeah. Again, my wife will she'll have like one of those looks on the face, and she won't even have to say anything. I'll just know exactly. I tried to explain
weird hobbies and stuff that I don't want to be even more weird when I'm asking for some understanding. You can't be too crazy with it. At some point, she's just gonna go, "This is ridiculous. You need to stop all this."
Yeah, like I tried to explain this to my wife, and I tried to show her, and I showed her some moments, and she was like, "What?" Like she's like, "So you bought that?" Like she doesn't understand it, and like I tried to explain it to her, and I tried to explain it to her, and she was just like, "So how much can you get for that?" And then like I was like, "Look, I'll list this one for $2.99, and it'll sell within a few minutes." And so I did that, and she's like, "Cool. Now how do you get that in your bank account?" And I was like, "Well, that's the thing. You can't." And she was like, "Okay, so you didn't really get any money then." And so like my wife is very black and white when it comes to these types of things. There is no. And she's like, "Sounds like a scam to me," and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, I guess there is certainly a non-0% chance of that being true, right? Like there is a non-zero chance of that being true, but this would be one of the biggest gets of all time. Like, I mean, like you got NBA stars, you got the NBA being fooled by it. Like if it's a scam, they have definitely fooled a lot of people.
I mean, I think it's non-zero, but a very low possibility of it being a scam with everything that's behind it. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to work. That, like I said earlier, they're making enough progress that I think you can look at this and say long term it's going to work. Eventually, everything will get ironed out, and that'll be what it is. But it's also non-zero that the web page doesn't load one day 6 months from now, and the bags are real.
Is that a Fantasy Aces reference?
No,
Because I think
it
that's
works
literally
though.
what happened to Fantasy Aces. Like all of a sudden there was like a sorry, we're out of business.
Yeah, I think down the road there's going to be some interesting discussions on what the actual agreement between Top Shot and the NBA actually looks like. I think some of that came out this week. We know where that 5% goes, at least part of it goes to NBA and the NBPA, NBAPA. I forget how they do it, but
yeah, my understanding is the rights are in perpetuity, but
so
I don't know if that's accurate or not. Like, I mean, that's just all hearsay, rumors. Like,
yeah, there was something though from office hours where even Roham himself said there's nothing stopping Topps from creating a basketball card. I guess it just won't. It won't be video. That was it. They have the rights to the video moments. So the fact that it's a GIF or whatever file they use, that's theirs. But a static digital playing card could be negotiated outside of whatever agreement they have.
which makes sense, but like they're not going to give up that right. And I guess that's an interesting question of who owns the rights when photographers take pictures. I'm assuming the team or the NBA owns those rights and they get to choose what to do with them, not the photographer.
Yeah, there's something on the press credential that I think the league owns it actually, but
yeah,
I don't know. I could be wrong, but certainly that's been thought of, and somebody owns that.
yeah. Well, I know we're definitely. I think when everyone saw my queue number and then they heard your queue number, we lost a little bit of steam. And of course, Walter wants to rub in. He got his pack, but he can't come on stream to open the pack. So good for
Hope
you,
you got
Walter.
a Zion, Walter, because market's down.
Yeah. I think, on that note, unless Walter has a change of heart and wants to keep the show going, we're probably going to wrap it up here and, maybe come back later. Sal, if you want to come back on later and open it or do it on your own channel, whatever you want to do. Sal, if you guys haven't checked out Sal, he does a lot of good sports content. He's getting into the Top Shot stuff. Make sure to check out his channel. He's a friend of ours. He loves our tools as well. Make sure to check him out, and hopefully he'll post him opening up that pack later on his channel. But any parting words, Ray?
No, it's been a blast. Excited to see what the tools do moving forward, the feedback from the community and all that. So I know there's some pretty strong plans, and baseball is coming up. That's where I first found the tools and really put the site to use. So excited for that. Excited to see what this market does, and for all these people that were fortunate enough to get packs, even Walter, as good of a guy as he is. So.
Yeah, and so I got a message from the developer, from our developer. He's like our chief technical officer, I guess. But Chris said he's getting closer on tags. Just needs some polish. You can add, create, display, and filter. Just need some feedback on that. So
I'll get my testing pants on, and I'll get in there.
Yeah, we'll get in there. We'll play with it, and hopefully we can have something out early next week for the tags. But like you mentioned, addmorefunds.com. The link to sign up is below as a courtesy for Raise Time. It uses his affiliate link. So if anyone does join and subscribes based on his link, he gets a little bit reward for that as a thank you for coming on. But we do have more tools than just Top Shot tools. We focused on Top Shot today, but you may see shows in the future that are not focused on Top Shot, that are focused on MLB or NBA. We have a variety of sports betting and DFS tools as well. So if you're a Top Shot fan, but also like sports and DFS, check those out, because one supporter package gives you access to everything. And again, if you're still watching at this point, please make sure you subscribe, like the video, greatly appreciated. But we'll try to see if we can do this every Sunday. I think it would be a fun thing. We can talk about what's happening, what's going on, maybe get some special guests in the future. But until then, thanks again, guys. Our handles are on the screen. Feel free to give us a follow. Every now and then we have a gem of a tweet, but most of the time not.
It's mostly dad jokes, so
Yeah. Bad ones too.
whatever.
All right. Well, take
Time out.
care.
We'll see you, buddy.
And see you guys in Slack.